Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Witch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching Mega Vlog number 5! I have been up since 5:30 this morning because that's when I get up. I get up before the sun comes up so I can enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet before my son gets up and before life gets going. But I woke up this morning going, I'm doing the mega vlog today. And I just interviewed Lenora Hinson of the Wicked Garden series. That will be going up on Monday, but that's why this whole situation is going on behind me. But I've just had, I'll bet I forget like half the things I want to say to you because there's a lot I want to say to you. And I was thinking, like, when I woke up this morning, it's like these mega vlogs have created this like self-regenerating pinata of my brain to where like all month long I'm like putting in the candy and stuffing it with candy and stuffing it with candy, and then the mega vlog happens and I like bust that sucker open and it's just like just a bunch of random like woo and then it's a self-regenerating pinata. So I do the same thing the following month. I think the mega vlogs, the monthly mega vlogs, could just turn out to be something. I was just gonna do it for 2016, but I can definitely see myself continuing on with this for a really long time. Kind of like my weekly witch review, which I'm also excited about because this Friday is the 100th anniversary of the weekly witch review, which I do every Friday. Most Fridays. I have missed very, very few. And this one might be extra long and juicy because I'm just so excited about that number. And I did actually do something similar back in the day for my company Koshi. I would do like link roundup kind of things. But this is my 100th weekly witch review. So that's super cool and exciting. And if you follow me anywhere online or we're friends, you have heard me go on and on and on and on about this. So this is the main thing that I wanted to remember to mention today. So I drug it out to the living room with me, and it is Sidewalk Oracles by Robert Moss. What is the subtitle? Because that'll tell you what the book's about. Playing with signs, symbols, and synchronicity in everyday life. And if you're witchy, if you're very new agey, I won't say that this book is going to teach you anything that you don't already know, but it will definitely like reinvigorate your love of synchronicity. And it's just a pleasure to be in Robert Moss's world. He is a dream worker and he's really into shamanism. He knows so many cool little stories. He's the kind of guy, he travels a lot for his work all around the world, and he just collects stories mainly about people's dreams and shamanic work. I've been listening to every single podcast interview that I can find of his. So there's even a moment that I'll show you where I'm like in my car. I was just listening to a podcast that he was in, and I was like, oh my God. I've had a lot of those moments. I've called friends and texted people and stuff because he's just full of it. He's just full of interesting little factoids, and he really he made me fall in love with living your life by synchronicity, letting synchronicity be a guide. The way it's outlined in this book, he's written many books, a couple dozen books, but this particular one I think is his latest, Sidewalk Oracles, and it's really about kind of using your own life as a tarot deck. So the signs and symbols that just cross your path every single day. He coins a term called chiromancy, which is actually, he didn't just make it up out of thin air. He used etymology to create this word, chiromancy. And chiromancy is basically living your life by synchronicity and letting the signs and symbols just pop up in your everyday life. You know, a vanity license plate that passes you by and catches your attention, the sound of a bird, a conversation you overhear, letting those things guide you. So it's so fun. When it was over, I knew for sure I am not done. This might be like my flavor of the month obsession, because I do get really into like whatever I'm into. Like I fully get into it, but I am not ready to leave the Robert Moss world. So I ordered another book from him called The Three Only Things, and that is not here yet, or I would show it to you. Hopefully it gets here today. But it is about things that, like when you say it's only a dream, it was only my imagination, it's only a coincidence. Those are the three only things: dreams, imagination, and coincidence. And he's saying, no, it's not only, it's everything. So I'm really excited to read that book. I posted on Facebook, I took little screenshots of, there's moons basically with, he addresses each like dreams, imagination, and coincidence, and gives you like the principles for working with those. So I shared those on Facebook, and I titled it like goodies for your book of shadows, because I put it in my book of shadows, and I thought you guys might want to do that as well. Super interesting. Even if you don't get the book, just reading through these principles that he outlines is, I think, going to give you the gist of like how to work with your dreams and coincidence and imagination in a really powerful way. And I have a situation, maybe I should have put this up higher. I changed outfits for you after my interviews, so my videos wouldn't look the same, like back to back to back, back to back. But the theme, that brings me around to the theme for the month of May, is going to be cyber witches, because I have a really exciting writing project that I'm working on, and I want to make time for myself to just write. And even though I write all the time, the blog posts, the newsletters, I wanted to take that energy and just put it into this book. And I had been meaning to do a cyber witch theme, so the two just came together, and I'm going to be interviewing people. So I will be picking their brains, so I don't have to pick my brain, and I can save that brain space for writing. And I've got just a couple of really cool interviews lined up. I've sent out many requests to people that have not been on my show before. So hopefully we will fill up every Tuesday and Thursday in May with kick-ass interviews with witches online, like leaders in our community, YouTube witches, maybe people that have their own witchy shop or podcast. And I just think, I just did an interview, oh dear, I'm confusing. I did a conversation with Molly Kellyanne and Eric Silvermoon. That was amazing. And then I did an interview with Sherry Bro Kreitner and Tara Lippy Witch, and for the Sacred Circle, and I'm getting them confused when this was mentioned, but I think it was in the first one. I was talking about the coven, the online community of witches, and how, you know, we're solitary, a lot of us, in our own practices. I am solitary, but now in leading groups for the Psycho-Spiritual Wheel of the Year, for example, I'm gathering in a space. We're all meeting up on Google Hangouts and talking there. And I'm having private Skype conversations with some of my witchy friends, and a lot of different Facebook groups that we're all in. And this community has shaped up to where it's like, are we really solitary anymore? Or do we have this like funky virtual cyber coven thing going on where we're exchanging ideas and we're influencing each other's practice? And I'm really intrigued by that idea. And this online community, which really started for me on YouTube, it's shaped who I am. It's shaped my practice. It's shaped the way that I do magic and the way I think about magic, and a lot of things have changed. So I would love to know what you think about that, maybe in the comments down below, especially if you are just a viewer, only a viewer. Maybe that's the fourth only thing, because like the podcast, for example, a lot of listeners write in, and then I shape the shows around that. So there's no onlys around here. You're not only watching the videos and commenting. You're not only listening to the podcast and writing to me. I'm listening, and that is a part of what like shapes the content. And I think that's a really fascinating phenomenon for any online community, but I'm thinking about witches here, the witchy community. And you know what's weird? I'm kind of drawing a blank on the other stuff I wanted to talk about. I was telling you, I've got this pinata brain thing going on, but someone keeps walking in on me and the gardeners are going, so my brain is just going like, ah! The ancestry thing, I did go to like a second cousins meetup for Germans from Russia. That is my family. I went with my mom, my uncles, my aunt, my stepdad, my son, and it was really interesting to hear stories of relatives I didn't personally know that go all the way back to like great-great-grandmas and grandpas and aunts. And I won't bore you by continuing on with the Germans from Russia theme, but I've learned a lot. And I'm kind of taking a break from that, and I stopped reading Catherine the Great about like halfway through the book because I think I just OD'd and I need time to just integrate. So that's probably why I'm on this Robert Moss kick, and I'm just enjoying working with that. And it might be too that this writing project came up very synchronistically. Speaking of synchronicity, it was unexpected but expected, if that makes any sense. And so I needed space to do that as well. So maybe that's why I needed to break. I just felt like, for me, writing is a pleasure, or reading is a pleasure, and I'm not gonna make myself do research or make myself read. That is like the joy train. I hop on and I go as far as it takes me, and then when it's not a joy anymore, when it's not a pleasure, I set it aside. And the Catherine the Great book is like that thick, so I think I just needed a break. And I see myself circling back around to that this fall. I think it will make good fall reading. But for now, I just want to play in the land of Robert Moss and write this project that I'm writing and interview some really interesting witches for you. So I'll just wrap this up. I don't know what that whole thing was about the pinata brain. I had a million things I wanted to say. The second I end this, they're all going to be like, woo! I'll just save it for later. Save it for another time. I hope all is well in your world and that you enjoy this vlog footage. There's some witches you might recognize in here and just a couple adventures that I filmed for you. And until we meet again, much love. Peace. This is so cool. I'm driving from Sunland to Glendale. I might be in Glendale, but there are mountains all in between. I gotta go because I'm stuck in traffic. But look, mountain lions, deer, wolves, horses, and a raven, I think, at the top. That is so awesome, that little art installation right there while you're stuck in traffic. Okay, it's a super drizzly, gloomy day, so please forgive the smudgy window and the view here, but I just heard something in my earbuds that I have to share with you. I'm listening to Robert Moss, and he's talking about how the oldest evidence of a shaman, at least in Europe, is the body of a woman shaman that they found. She's 30,000 years old, and she was found in a crypt made of mammoth bone holding the skull of a red fox. And the site where she was found is in what is now known, I guess, as the Czech Republic, which I thought was so cool. Isn't that neat? I just heard, I'm still listening to the same podcast with Robert Moss, and he told the story about when his daughter, I think she was 4 years old, and Robert Moss is a dream expert. That's kind of his thing. What do they refer to him as? A dream worker. He's a dream worker. And when his daughter was about 4, I think he said, she said, "Daddy, do you want to know how I enter into..." Love these purple trees, by the way. Do you want to know how I enter into the dream world? Sometimes I take the sun gate. Sometimes I take the moon gate. Sometimes I take the tree gate. Sometimes I take the rainbow bridge. And sometimes I punch a hole in the world. And I don't know, I just thought that was so awesome. Little kids are amazing. They're like little baby shamans. I still have not put everything in my house back together again since Bedbug Gate, which I documented here in the vlogs. But it's just because, I don't even want to talk about it. It takes a long time to get rid of those guys, and then you have to make sure they're really, really gone. I'm excited to put my clothes back in my closet, and I think I'm going to paint over this. I'm guessing I painted this in 2003. Presenting the White Witch. And that kind of like looked over my clothes, and my sweaters were up above that, and then these eyeballs were over my clothes. I used to refer to myself in my own mind as the White Witch. And Maja Doust actually goes by the White Witch here in Los Angeles, but I did not know that at the time, and this amused me, but I'm ready to paint over it. Here's a little symbol that I work with often. You can see WW White Witch, there it is. And then this is kind of funny and random. I advocate glamour every day, every minute. That is a Dita, it says Dita is sweeta because I wrote a song about Dita Von Teese. Just inviting you into my silly. That was a quote from Dita Von Teese, and Dita is sweeta is a line from a song that I wrote a long, 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 long time ago. No, it was not 2003. It couldn't have been. It was 2004 because that's when we moved in here. April Fool's Day! 2004. That means I have lived in this house for 12 years, and I still love it. It is schlumpy, but it's mine. It's cute. Tanner Goff-Balderow is one thorough artist. These are stars. Can we see the whole picture, buddy? Wow.
Full moon.
And that's the full moon.
Called Scorpio.
So it's my dad's birthday, and he asked us to make him a card. So I drew the island that he was on, and Tanner is giving it the moon and stars treatment. Excellent job, Devo. Excellent job. Oh my god, it's the super glamorous, damn gorgeous Marla Martenson. Author of so many books. What's your latest?
The new one is The Buddha Made Me Do It. Field Guide to Enlightenment.
So we are on our way to Bellflower, I guess.
Wherever that is.
To practice being Thelemites for the night. We are going to a Thelemic ritual about an hour away or so from where we live. Siri is interrupting us. If you want to know how to get to
Bellflower.
Yes. But anyway, I'm a little bit scared, but mostly excited and curious to see what this is going to be like. It's a father. Do you remember the name of it? It's like a father ritual or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a rite. We're going to do a rite. I have 2 layers of protection here. My horned hand and my seeing eye.
And all I have is a pansy, so that won't get too much, but you know, hey.
In case there's any weirdos, you just never know. Hi! I am on my way to meet new witches. Some new people, some new friends. Actually, some of them I know from the Psycho Spiritual Wheel of the Year, but we've never met in person. And then a couple are local women who have reached out to me on social media or email who I have not had the chance to meet in person yet. So it's another beautiful day in sunny California, and I'm excited to meet some new witches. Damn it, you guys are not going to be able to see this, but I am in Atwater Village on my way to home to do this brunch with these witches, and I literally just passed a Vardo on the street, a gypsy Vardo, that said Vardo Tarot, and I'm not joking, like 2 hours ago, maybe even 1 hour ago, on Instagram, I posted a Vardo that is parked in my neighborhood, and somebody wrote, oh, is that the gypsy Vardo? And I was like, I have no idea. Or the Tarot Vardo, I've never heard of that before. And then like an hour later, I'm driving right by it, parked on the street. I cannot wait to tell her, the woman who posted that, June, July, I always screw up her name. June, July, something like that. Can't wait to go back on Instagram to tell her I literally just saw the Tarot Vardo. Hopefully it's still there on my way back. Look at my skirt. It's so Stevie Nicks. I love it. Woohoo! Free people is the bomb. Home. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the healthiest food, But it's really, really good people watching and a nice environment. So it's a good meetup place. Here we go. Love the koi pond right at the beginning. Good people watching. Good people watching. And 2 people are here before me because Eric Silvermoon is one of those early bird, super tidy people. Hi!
So, of course, my kids and I had to pick fresh sage and flowers for everybody to bring some of the fountain.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful.
It's called Spanish broom or witch's broom, so of course, so appropriate.
It's so nice, thank you, Stephanie. Beautiful Eric and Beth, who just arrived. We have Michelle and the lovely Frankie. You have to show us your fingernails because I've been staring at them. We have a little, yes, little print symbol right there that I'm digging on. And then we have a Penny under the table. Penny! Penny! Hi, Penny! Penny's she's our brunch familiar for the day. Hi, Penny! There it is! Vardo Tarot. Oh my gosh, I pronounced it wrong. I cannot believe that. What are the odds of that happening? Only to a witch. Synchronicity, people. Vardo Tarot.